Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. Woo! We made it. It's Friday. It's Friday. What did I say?
Stop right there. I gotta know right now.
Well, it's Friday. Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Whip Around and Find Out, presented by our very good friends, the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. It's time. Get those clubs out. Head up to Wander Springs. Do 18 holes. Head over to the Circle Tap after. Get a nice cold beverage. They've got volleyball leagues going on there right now. It's gonna be an epic summer in Wisconsin. We find these next 12 weeks are what we wait for, right? I mean, we put up with the other 40 weeks for these 12. Me personally, I'm a winter guy. I love the winter. I love the snow. I love the cold. Guess that's why I'm perfect for Wisconsin. All right, before we get to the show, I have a quick story I want to tell you. Once upon a time, so before W7, I worked at AT&T. I was a sales director for 23 years for AT&T, and somebody told me once, hey, when you're really doing what you were meant to do and what you love to do, it never feels like work, and you'll put in just endless hours without even thinking about it. It just flies by. You don't even think about it. And I said, that's insane. Nobody ever feels that way about work, right? I mean, that's, I put in a lot of long days and long weeks at AT&T, but I never, I never felt like it wasn't work. Every minute of it was work. Let me give you my day yesterday real quick. Got up at 6:30 yesterday morning, prepped for the show, and then, did the show live. By the way, we're live again this morning on Friday. Did the show and went into my office, my home office, and I've been editing a film that we're premiering on Sunday for Lamira girls basketball. So I spent 3 or 4 hours just editing and getting that film ready to go for this weekend. Then I shifted and started working on prepping for the Milton Monona Grove game last night. And I did that for about 2 hours. And then I got a note from the Milton coach saying, hey, by the way, tonight is youth night. And also we're celebrating and lifting up a young lady that has just gone through a brain cancer tumor, and here's the details, and we'd love if you could mention that in your broadcast. So had to go back into my pregame script and not rewrite it, but spend some time kind of tightening it up and getting information about Allie. Let me get you a picture of Allie. Let's see, where is it? Allie. Oh, here she is. Allie's on the left here. So Allie Clefoth from Milton. By the way, she just had her most recent scan. Everything's clear. Everything's good. She threw out the first pitch last night. It was really great. It was so fun to be a part of that. But anyway, did that, and then I left for the park, and I got to the park around 3:30. Game was at 5:30, so we spent a good amount of time, probably 90 minutes, setting up and getting everything ready to go. And then we did the game. After the game, we did our player of the game interview, packed everything up, drove back home to Economowoc. I got home about 9 last night. And then I had to prep for this show for today. So I was working on that until about midnight, 12:30. Went to bed, got up at 6, and here we are. I had to I finished prepping for the show this morning. So my point is not to say, hey, look how hard I work, although I work pretty hard, but it's more about it didn't feel like work at all. I mean, it didn't feel like it for 1 second. It just felt like, like just life. I mean, this isn't work. This is just, this is my life. This is what I do. And I couldn't be happier. And I really owe a lot to you guys for all your support and for just, your support of this show and our platform and everything else. And your encouragement just means just the absolute world to me. So thank you for that. Now, with all that said, let's get into our show. The reason I spent so much time last night was we had just a ton of softball last night all over the state, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are the gauntlet, right? I mean, everybody's playing then, so I mean, you've really got to buckle down and go through a lot of stuff. So we've got another loaded show today. Conference races are tightening. Hang a second. Big showdowns, pitchers dealing, balls leaving the yard, walk-off drama, stars everywhere. And we have one of the deepest Who's That Girl boards that we've had all season. Again, you guys are crushing it with the nominations. It's so great. It helps make my job easier, and also we get to recognize more kids, which is really kind of what this whole show is about. So real quick, here's today's lineup. We're going to go through the top 10 games of the night from last night, including the game of the night. We're going to break down our feature game from last night. We're going to hit the home run club, circle of dominance, hard luck hotel. Who's That Girl will be near the end. I know it's everybody's favorite. And we'll wrap up the show and close and go grab coffee. How's that? All right, quick break. We'll be back. You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by Circle Tap in Denmark and Wonder Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back.
Pain's a very lonely place. I came to Orthopedic Associates because I had a ruptured disc in my neck. I needed to get it fixed as soon as I could. Life immediately following the procedure was better. I have 3 young boys. I coach their sports. I play their sports with them. So just the joy in life came back. The pain was gone. The entire standard of life became better.
Happy Friday, everyone, and let's get into our show today. And again, it's a packed show, as it seems to be every day. Segment 1, the top 10 games of the night. Number 10, Random Lake defeats Howard's Grove 12-2. Random Lake maybe starting to kind of find their groove a little bit here. I know they don't have Olivia Stefanik this year, which is just a huge hit for this team. But I got a feeling that they're kind of starting to find out a little bit more who they are, and a big win over Howard's Grove. Number 9, Catholic Memorial takes down McWanago 5-2. Ashland Hunt just keeps being great, and CMH is going to be a really tough out. McWanago, they've had a rough week. I won't lie to you. They lost to Arrowhead earlier this week and then lose to CMH last night. It's not been a great week. By the way, Ashland Hunt had 13 strikeouts in their win last night. Number 8, Beaver Dam shuts out Watertown 6-0. Big win for Coach Hines and the Golden Beavers. Emma Julka pitched a 3-hit shutout. You guys, if you've watched W7 at all over the years, it's no surprise how fond we are of Emma Julka. Just a great kid and a tremendous athlete in multiple sports. Helped lead her team to the state championship game. They were just an eyelash away from the gold ball. They got the silver ball, and Emma was an absolute huge part of that team. And just again, great kid, great player, and happy to see her doing as well as she is. Number 7, Hamilton shuts out Brookfield East 10-0. Thought this might have been a little bit of a closer game. Brook East checked into the Hard Luck Hotel earlier this week, and thought maybe they could, maybe it might be a trap game for Hamilton, but Bitsy Palika does Bitsy Palika things, start in every phase of the game as she always does. So that's number 7. Number 6, Fond du Lac beats Appleton East last night 16-8. Runs everywhere, powered by Maddie Gow. Now, if you watched our season opener way long time ago, back in March, we did Fond du Lac and Campbellsport. And during that broadcast, I said, and I think Coach Schleif can back me up on this, and because I know he's watching, but I said Fond du Lac is going to go as Maddie Gow goes offensively. And the reason I said that was because they lost Reagan Ziegler. They lost Sue. Why am I blanking on her last name? Vokes. They lost Sue Vokes, they lost Reagan, and those were two power hitters. And I said, somebody's got to fill that gap. Now, they've got some freshmen that they brought in. They're doing great. They got a sophomore transfer from Campbellsport that came over. She's pitching, but Lillian Birschbach and Bree Mentink need another. We need to have a three, a trio there. And I said it's going to be incumbent on Maddie Gow to have a big year. And I think we'd all agree she didn't get off to the greatest start in the world, but boy, has she been killing it lately, including this week. 2 big home runs for Maddie. And so look at as the weather warms up, so does Maddie Gow. And great job by her last night, going 4 for 5. Her and Bree had a monster game last night against Appleton East. Her and Bree both made our Who's That Girl list. Number 5, speaking of monster games, speaking of monster games, number 5, Wisconsin Lutheran defeated Waukesha South 16-0. The headline is Reese Grzelanic. Should be a name we all know. Reese hit 3 home runs, including a grand slam last night and 8 RBI. The Oregon commit just absolutely crushed it last night. So monster game for Reese. Number 4, Algoma beat Sturgeon Bay 11-1. Macy Zimmerman struck out 17 and homered. She's quietly having a really nice season at Algoma. Number 3, the walk-offs continue over in Stoughton. Coach Bondi may need to check in somewhere after the season with all the stress that her kids are putting her through. Stoughton defeated Edgewood last night on a walk-off sacrifice bunt. Runner on third, first and third with 1 out, bunt down the line. They throw to first to get the out, and then they try to throw back to third to get the runner picked off at third. The throw goes away. The runner from third scores. Stoughton wins, and Coach Bondi has another episode. I saw Coach Bondi after the game. I saw the video. She was excited as any of the kids. As any of the kids were excited. She came roaring down that line at third base, just so pumped up, so excited. And this is what I love about softball coaches. I love how invested they are. A win for the program is a win for them. A win for the kids is a win for them. And seeing those kids jumping around and celebrating. I think it was I don't remember who it was that posted this week that they were surprised that Stoughton didn't at least get an honorable mention in Division II for the top 10. I'd have to agree with that. This team is playing exceptional softball right now. The theme for Stoughton is it's now or never, and I got to say it's right now. And speaking of right now, I told him last night that they were probably going to be one of our headlines, and sure enough, they certainly are. Campbellsport knocks off Lamira 10-9. Late drama and a wild finish. I told Coach Heisdorf, I said it earlier this week. If Campbellsport has a good week this week, I'm buying stock on Campbellsport. Well, count me in. I've got the certificates. I've got the confirmation of the trade. I'm a stockholder on Campbellsport softball. They survived Lamira last night 10-9 in another wild finish, probably one of the wildest finishes on the board. Lillian Christian launched a 3-run homer and drove in 4 for Campbellsport. Ava Sabish delivered a bases clearing double. It had everything. McKenna Lohr added 3 RBI. This game really, again, I think Coach Heisdorf is building something pretty solid at Campbellsport right now. Lamira, that is their first loss of the year. It was a big win for the Cougars over Lamira, 10-9. So congratulations, both teams. It was a well-played game, 10-9, a fun game. Just one of those games you love playing in and just being part of it. The kids all benefit from those games. You don't benefit from 16-0, but you benefit from 10-9 games. That's what's fun. Our number 1 game of the night, well, of course, maybe I'm a little biased. Well, I probably am. But our number 1 game that I have for last night was the game we did, Milton and Monona Grove. Milton won at 9-4, but don't go by the score because that really was a little deceiving based on the game. First of all, the game mattered because the winner stays in range of Beaver Dam. Beaver Dam is starting to pull away in the Badger Large, and so you got to keep winning to stay in pace with them. Of course, they won last night over Watertown 6-0. Brooklyn Vanden Brandon, Addison Durst, and Kalea Kanoth help Monona Grove strike first. So Monona Grove jumps out. They're leading 3-1 going into the fifth, and then Milton answered. Molly Baker went 3 for 4 with 2 triples and a single. And if you saw our post-game interview with Molly Baker last night, it wasn't so much the triples and the hits for Molly that really struck me. It is the real estate that kid ate up. I I think I said this to Leah Dom. I think or not Leah Dom, Stella Busloff from Kewaskum, because she had kind of that same stride. Molly was just at a whole different level. I mean, so I see her get this hit. She runs around first, and she's moving pretty well. Somewhere between first and second, she lengthens that stride. It was almost like what you'd see from a 2-mile runner in track. At some point in their race, they just kind of hit that sweet spot and they get these long strides and then just eat up ground. That was Molly last night, and it really stuck with me, was seeing her just chew up that real estate, getting from first to third. But anyway, she went 3 for 4. She was our Piggly Wiggly player of the game. Riley Knudsen battled in the circle. Milton stays alive in the race. The Badger Large is far from over. Also, Kenzie Marquardt. Kenzie Marquardt from Milton last night had three pop-up catches behind home plate, like almost like in one inning after another. And we're set up right behind home plate. So she's like literally in my grill looking up, and I'm watching the ball. And in Milton, there's a net on one side and there's a net on the other, like for foul balls that goes into the net. I'm like right in the middle between the two nets, and there's no net. So I'm like, I think this ball is coming to me. And it comes down in the glove of Kenzie Marquardt. I'm like, okay, well, I guess they don't really need me. Kenzie's got it. So Ken's did that 3 times last night, and just a great night for Milton. It was a great night just in the Milton community last night. They gave away concessions and Kona ice. And I'm telling you, I've never seen so many kids running around on sugar highs as I saw last night at Milton. It was insane. And more importantly, they raised over $2,000 for Allie Clefo. Allie's on the right here. Again, I mentioned at the outset of the show, she suffered a brain. She had a cancerous brain tumor. They were able to get the entire thing. Her latest scan, she's cancer free. She threw out the first pitch last night. And that's what this stuff's really all about. I mean, I love talking home runs and hits and everything else and big wins, but that's a huge win right there. That's the biggest win of the night was Allie. All right, when we come back, it's time to go into the Home Run Club. You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. That is Tenley Bachop from Mineral Point. Tenley helping do some promotional work for Recruited Films. Recruited Films, what they do is they create film that go to coaches for college coaches for recruiting purposes. And it's not, you see film, right? I mean, it's and we do our best, but I mean, honestly, it's hard to get good film in softball because, the field is so big, and, you're counting on the coaches being able to squint and see what's going on. Recruited Films, they actually come out and they film, your player doing, her work, right? So I mean, they will come out and actually had to do a video session, and you can see that. I mean, what you saw there is not just a commercial; that's actually part of the film. So it's cinematic film, lower thirds, graphics, stats, all that stuff. I mean, it's legit. And so I would encourage you if you're if your youngster is looking to go play college softball and you want to make sure that you get her film looked at by coaches, go to recruitedfilms.com and talk to them because they can make sure that happens. Again, it's cinematic film. You got to realize these coaches get hundreds of emails from kids and parents and everything else and other coaches every week. Not all of them get looked at, so make sure your film gets looked at. Go to recruitedfilms.com. Okay, time for the home run club, and wow, it's a big club. We had to expand the clubhouse tonight to fit all these kids in. First of all, we talked about our Reese Grudzalonic, Wisconsin Lutheran, 3 home runs. Maddie Gow for Fond du Lac. Addison Mackey from Poinette. Addison Mackey had a great game as well last night. Brooklyn Simonas, Brookie Cookie gets a grand slam last night for Mosinee, her first high school grand slam. Congratulations, Brooklyn. Ryan Lefevre from New Holstein had 2 home runs. That was actually on Wednesday night, so we're kind of grandfathering that in. Nice job for Ryan, by the way. Those 2 home runs were her first ever high school varsity home runs, and they came in the same game. Yet, more than that, even they came in the same inning. She had 2 home runs in the same inning. Her first high school home runs. Congratulations, Ryan Lefevre from New Holstein. Lillian Christian from Lamira, just such a stud player. Kennedy Bennett from Germantown had 2 home runs last night. Macy Zimmerman from Algoma hit a homer. And the Cedarburg all-time leader in home runs, she just eclipsed this week. She got her 19th home run this week, and last night she got her 20th. It's Emily Johnson from Cedarburg, her 20th career home run. Emily Johnson from Cedarburg, and of course Bitsy Palika, a home run as well. So I'm sure it's not all of them. Those are the ones that we were able to capture last night. Congratulations to our home run club. All right, time for the circle of dominance. Let's see, what do we got? Tenley Bachop. She was just on the commercial. She has 11 strikeouts last night, and not just 11 strikeouts. It was a 1-0 win. So again, those pressure games when you really need to step up and the margins are so thin. Tenley, 11 strikeouts. Addison Braun, perfect game. It was a 3-inning game against Columbus. She threw 27 pitches in the game. A perfect game for Addie. Macy Zimmerman, 17 strikeouts and a home run. Madison Babcock with a shutout win. Bitsy Palika, a shutout and a home run. Ashlyn Hunt had 13 strikeouts for Catholic Memorial. Big game tomorrow, Catholic Memorial and Kewaskum. I think Jackie mentioned that as well. Yeah, there it is. Big game tomorrow for those 2 teams. I know Kewaskum playing really great ball. We've got the chance to see them a couple times. We'll see them again on Wednesday as they host Germantown. That'll be our final game of the year with Kewaskum. So looking forward to that on Wednesday. Emma Julka, we talked about her, a shutout of Watertown. There's your circle of dominance. When we come back, I know, it's the segment we all dread, but we got to talk about it. The Hard Luck Hotels coming up next. Welcome back to the Hard Luck Hotel. The lobby lights are flickering. The vending machine ate your dollar. The shower has no pressure. And checkout time comes way too fast. This is where we recognize the teams and players who did enough to feel like winners, but still had to carry their bags into the toughest hotel in softball. Room 101, Lamira. You score 9 runs. You collect 13 hits. You get a 3-run homer from Lillian Christian. Most nights, that wins. Not tonight. Lamira kept fighting, kept scoring, and still leaves 1 run short. Brutal stay. Room 202, Fenimore. You allowed only 2 hits all game and lose 1-0. That is elite pitching with no reward. The circle did its job, the defense did its job, but the scoreboard never moved. That room never has hot water. Room 303. Any pitcher facing Reese Grudzelanek. 3 home runs, 1 grand slam, 8 RBI. Every mistake got punished. Every inning felt dangerous. If you had to pitch in that game, you deserve complimentary late checkout. Room 404, Sturgeon Bay. 1 hit, 17 strikeouts against Macy Zimmerman. Sometimes the opponent's just dealing at another level. The Penthouse Suite, Monona Grove. This is premium heartbreak. You go on the road and a huge Badger Large showdown. You grab the lead early. Big hits from Brooklyn Vanden Brandon, Addison Durst, and Kalea Kanoth put you in position. You can feel the standings in reach. Then Milton responds, flips the game, and the ride home feels longer than it should. Conference stakes, early momentum, no win. That's the Penthouse Suite pain. Another lonely, cold night in the Hard Luck Hotel for everybody staying. But one team got express checkout of the Hard Luck Hotel. That's Economowoc. They did not stay overnight. Why? Because Cameron Stoltz handled the bill. Big performance, big production, big reason they're headed home happy instead of extending their stay. Some teams arrive at the Hard Luck Hotel, others get rescued before they ever reach the front desk. Last night, Cam Stoltz handled the checkout. No complimentary breakfast, no fresh towels, just tough breaks, painful losses, and another chance tomorrow. When we come back, it's time for Who's That Girl? You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wonder Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. It's time for Who's That Girl? I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you guys are killing it in nominations. We had 10 really strong candidates tonight from last night's games. Let's go through their resumes one by one. This is a segment everyone waits for. This is where we celebrate the stars, the takeover performances, the girls who changed games and made the whole state notice. This is Who's That Girl? Tonight's board is stacked. Let's go one by one. Candidate 1, Reese Grudzelanek. This resume jumps off the page immediately. 3 home runs, 1 grand slam. Let me do one thing here. There we go. 8 RBI. Every plate appearance felt dangerous. Power, run production, and total game takeover for Reese. 3 home runs in 1 game is elite territory. 8 RBIs make it unforgettable. Candidate 2, Maddie Gow, representing Fond du Lac. Maddie put together one of the best pure hitting nights in the state. 4 for 5, a home run, multi-hit pressure all game long. That's consistency plus impact power. Candidate 3, Addison Mackey from Poinette. This was a complete offensive masterpiece. She is the Division III State Player of the Year. She went 3 for 3 with a home run, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 6 RBI for Addie. Reached every time, drove in runs, changed the scoreboard. Candidate 4, Cam Stoltz, Economowoc. Cam affected every part of the game. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 4 RBI, 2 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, power to the gaps, speed on the bases, production at the plate, full package resume. Most importantly, she got Economowoc checked out of the Hard Luck Hotel last night. Candidate 5, Brookie Cookie, that's Brooklyn Simonis. Brooklyn, sometimes one swing earns your spot on the board, and Brookie did that with a grand slam. 4 runs on 1 swing. Instant momentum change, massive game moment. Candidate 6, she's on the board. It feels like every single night. Addison Braun, perfection. A perfect game, 27 pitches. They won in 3 innings over Columbus. No hits, no walks, no base runners, total command, elite efficiency. That's Addie Braun. Number 7, Brianna Mentink. My spelling is atrocious. I'm sorry, Bree. I totally butchered the spelling. By that time, it was after midnight, and I was starting to see rabbits jumping around. Bree delivered in the moments that decide games. Key run production, big offensive impact, came through with runners on base. You guys all know I'm a huge Bree Mentink fan. I love how she plays the game. She doesn't talk the game. She just goes out and plays it and shows her teammates this is how we do it. Clutch performance always belong in this segment. Candidate 8, Carly Checky from Marshall. Carly gave you winning softball in multiple forms. 3 for 4, a double, stolen base, runs scored, contact, speed, extra base ability, complete contribution. Candidate 9, Tenley Bachop from Mineral Point. Pressure game, tight score. She's an ace. It's an ace response. That's Tenley. That's just what she does. Color me not surprised. Complete game shutout, 11 strikeouts, a 1-0 win for Mineral Point on the back of Tenley Bachop. When every pitch matters, that kid just gets stronger. Candidate 10, a longtime W7 favorite, Emma Jolka from Beaver Dam. Big game, conference stakes, huge results. They shut out Watertown. Huge win for Beaver Dam. Helped keep the Beaver Dam pressure in focus, dominating in meaningful ways, always stands out. Those are your 10 candidates. Every single one of them is more than deserving of the Who's That Girl award. But tonight's winner of the Who's That Girl award goes to Maddie Gow from Fond du Lac. I said at the beginning of the year, Maddie's going to step up and have a big season. She's going to help replace that production that's been needed. Maddie did that this week twice. In 2 games, Maddie delivered. So Maddie Gow, you are Thursday's Who's That Girl? Congratulations, Maddie Gow. And again, congratulations to all 10 of our candidates. Every single one of them more than deserving. And you guys just keep the nominations coming. Don't feel like, well, hey, I already nominated this person. Just nominate them. Just do it. You know, if we see it and it looks right, then we're gonna put it on there. And don't worry about, you don't have to judge that. Just send it to me. I'll take care of that. And again, there's no judgment whatsoever. Okay. Whew, what a show. We had wild finishes. We had conference races shift. We had pitchers dominate. We had balls flying out of the yard. We had a walk-off sack bunt. And we had a stacked Who's That Girl field led by tonight's winner, Maddie Gow. That's Wisconsin softball. That's why we do the show every day. And that's why every day matters. I'm Gary Whipperman, and this has been Whip Around and Find Out. No show tomorrow. We're back Sunday night, live edition. Wrap up the weekend, get you ready for the week ahead. Watch anytime on fixtv.com, YouTube, Facebook. And thank you guys, as always, for all your support. Thank you for your belief in W7. Thank you for making this feel not at all like a job. We are W7, and we are for the girls.